Welcome to MEDICA Nova Wellness Studio. I'm Angelika Maria Koch with the educational videos about how to live optimal health and vibrant well-being as I continue to guide you step by step through an amazing and life transformative process, empowering you to connect with your body and soul in a completely new way again. So let's continue with the Discovery series of the radical chakra healing in the New World, and today with the Sixth Chakra called AJNA Part 1 and the theme Taking the Path of Your Soul. This chakra has a lot to do with intuition and wisdom, and on a personal note, I think this is the most important video to watch in the entire series. The information which I will share with you, I sincerely hope will become the cornerstone and the foundation of the path of your soul, no matter what the form will look like. So the sixth chakra is also called the Brow Chakra because it's sitting right between your eyes. It is governed by the planet of Mercury and the metal of Mercury. It is related to the sense of the inner sound because now your soul is able to receive messages. It radiates with the color indigo and is associated to the zodiac signs of Gemini and Virgo. So the power of the mind is a real important subject here, especially during these crazy, unpredictable and challenging times we live in right now. So the questions which arise are you living right now the path of your soul? Or are you still resisting to trust your soul, which only knows how to live in the present and doesn't entertain the past and the future? The mind is the ultimate repository here of the human consciousness and the human spirit, and both encompass us with the capability of cognition, to use our will, get in touch with our emotions, and to connect with spirit. So the sixth chakra encompasses, of course, the brain in itself, which is here the focal point for some of the more higher developed ethereal energies. Later on we talk about the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, and the aura, and all these three chakras now really connect us to the higher realms. It is also commonly referred to the third eye. So we have a clarity and a good vision that comes from truth, and is also related to intuition. On the physical aspect, it is connected to the pituitary gland, which is the master gland of the endocrine system. Now, the pituitary gland is also associated to the theme of nutrition. And out of all the glands and organs, this is the most sort of physical structure which links us to the mind and the body. It's like a portal. The pituitary gland also translates sort of ideas and emotions from the brain cortex into chemicals, which then control our mood, the whole metabolism within the body, and also our muscles. So this secretion from this gland are among the most important molecules, particularly when it relates to emotions and the knowledge. The secretion literally inform the body's other glands and the organs about what the brain wants the body to do. And out of that, it sort of like teaches the other organs to think about their own function. For example, the pituitary gland is in a loop system with the hypothalamus as well as with the thyroid. Talked about it in the last video. The pituitary gland then shoots out hormones like thyroid stimulating hormone, which then activates the thyroid to produce by itself the hormones T3 and T4. You see, they're all connected, they all talk to each other. So that happens then often through, or is mediated by neuropeptides, neurohormones, neurotransmitters. So we have this thinking brain, but throughout the body we have a non-thinking brain. And you very much get in touch with that through your gut feelings. So you maybe have a feeling or say, oh my God, I just feel like a truck went through my stomach. Maybe somebody said something not very nice to you, or you have butterflies, or you feel nervous before the upcoming job interview. Right? It all happens with neuropeptides, and your digestive system is really the hub of the most accumulation of nerves next to your brain. So here, as I said, we get in touch with our intuition, and I really would like to say intuition is mostly misunderstood. We think like it's about, oh, I know what's going to happen, or I have a premonition about something. That's part of it, but intuition really means going within, looking within, and coming from the path of your soul. So when this new perspective, to life, to your loved ones, is really starting to take form. For example, making decisions is much easier, comes much more, effortlessly. You're not so swayed by indecision, because now you're not coming from this tunnel vision of it's all about me and my status or my survival. Now you have a vaster perspective, and you see the world with different eyes, literally. And therefore, you get the feeling of more about we rather than just I. So when you come from this place of consciousness and not from the persona, the small self, the distance between the ego and the consciousness decreases. And ultimately, you become it. There is no distance anymore. And as this distance decreases, you become aware, of course, about we call it the cosmic spark, or the soul within the others. You can see and feel that we are all connected. Right? We all share the same consciousness. There's a merging of all things happening. Now, most of the people don't want to go there, right? Because that's too much. But that is the truth. And often they think, if I'm just saying what I feel, then I'm truthful. But that's not living the truth. So living the truth really means you must recognize your own divine essence and the divine essence of all others. This alone will enable you to experience the reality of oneness. So this consciousness then naturally gives you the feeling of dignity. That in itself leads to divinity. And because we talk about health here, that leads to optimal health, especially with the functions of your cells. So as consciousness begins to unfold, it opens then the intuitive mind, and we talk about the complete mind here. It reveals a vast panorama which you haven't seen before, because really the brain's frontal cortex, only recognizes what it has been taught prior to experiences. It doesn't know anything else. But when you come from this place of consciousness, your vista is much vaster. You see more, you see the textures, you realize things you haven't seen before, and therefore you have more of a field of freedom of choice. You can create your own reality. So the true essence of creating your own reality means responding to the real world with your highest self, which will elevate you in the best part of the world. This part of your world already exists. It never has gone away. It exists before you were born. It will exist after we leave our body. And it's really there for you to get in touch with. It awaits for you. And it is really your true self. But there's only one path to it, and that is the path of the soul. So the sixth chakra is really a doorway to this new way of seeing and living. So when the sixth chakra is balanced, it facilitates for you to get in touch with that realm. It opens the door for that. And when you balance the sixth chakra and walk the path of the soul, you attain, of course, freedom from within, in particular from your self-limited belief systems. Life is so much sweeter then. So you create harmony and a peace of mind. There's more of a sense of contentment inside you, despite this craziness around you. So when the sixth chakra is open, and particularly the physical body, including the brain, it becomes a tool for you, right? You're not just a victim of your brain, but you can truly use it, particularly in relation to your spiritual life. On a practical level, after all, when the lower chakras are open and your sixth chakra is balanced, you maximize the power to heal yourself, right? You can really tap into your cells, and I often imagine then really with my thought power that all my cells, these trillions of cells in my body, we holding hands and we maybe chant or we say each other, we love each other, or you can visualize white lights into the diseased cells. You have the power to do that, and you can change the behavior of your cells. We are not victims of our DNA, of our so-called blueprint. Forget about this. You have the power to change the behavior of your cells. So healing begins in the mind. Right? And the mind begins in the sixth chakra. Because all healing begins in the mind, the energy of the sixth chakra can not only heal the physical, structures here of the sixth chakra, but really the entire body. So to do this, the pituitary gland must be functioning properly. Right? It's a very single, most important link between our mind and the body. Is vitally connected to the part of our brain which we call the limbic system. So it's a system, so it contains several elements, and we talk about the amygdala, the thalamus, the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, the basal ganglia, and the cingulate gyrus is part of that. So the amygdala is really related to your emotions. And the hippocampus plays more a connection with your short-term memory. So while the neocortex of the brain is essentially your thinking brain, the limbic system really has to do with your emotions. And I said the limbic system controls not only the emotions, but also the memory. Now the hippocampus, I said, is related to the short-term memory, and then it sort of ships the information to the neocortex for long-term memory. And here I want to say something about menopausal women. Because during that time, the pituitary gland is sort of changing its function due to hormonal changes. And the pituitary gland, as I said, is a portal, not just to the hormones, but to your spiritual life. So I really advise you here not to use synthetic manufactured hormones, because it will block that door to your spiritual path, but really support the pituitary gland with natural plant-based nutrients. You have a much better effect here. So in the next video, I will share with you how to, heal or support the pituitary gland with natural and effective therapeutic tools. But let's turn our attention now to a simple exercise, which I always do with all the other videos as well, to help you to activate the third eye chakra right now. So I want you to place your hands, and I'm going to put my hands a little bit up here so you can see it, sort of at the bottom of your breast. I want you to take your index finger and stand them up, place the tips of your finger together, and with the other finger sort of bend them at the first joint. And just relax quite nicely now. And as usual, we want to use a mantra, in this case, A-U-M. So I choose now to keep my eyes open, because I want to connect with you, but you can close your eyes or keep them open. And also I want you now to imagine when we chant Aum, there's sort of a blue indigo color coming through the top of your head in an L-shaped form out through your third eye. Right? So it really activates it and you release the blue energy in a beautiful way. So let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. Let's breathe in again. Let's breathe out. And on the third one now, let's chant. Really let the blue energy coming out of your third eye. This is a simple exercise. You can incorporate it daily into your life and it doesn't take much time, but it's very effective to open up the third chakra. If you want to know more a little bit about meditation practices to activate, the energy wheels, the chakras, I really recommend the book Meditation is Medicine from Damascene Khalsa and Cameron Stout. Really wonderful practices. Now, to finish this video, I always refer to our self-examination questionnaire from Carla and Miss from the Anatomy of the Spirit. They're great questions, they're not easy to answer, so take some time, ponder about them in the next 2 weeks. Let me talk about the part 2 of the Sixth Chakra video. And really maybe journal them, put them down, because really when you write them down, it puts an extra weight in the manifestation of your truth. Right? Really look into that and share with me, put your comments below. I really would like to know how you're doing with this process of the videos. So let's start. What beliefs do you have that cause you to interpret the actions of others in a negative way? What negative behavioral patterns continually surface in your relationships with others? We have all our negative, behaviors here. What attitudes do you have that disempower you? Where do you give your power away? And you know it. Say, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, all this belief system. What beliefs do you continue to accept that you know are not true? Right? I never could be that good enough. Are you judgmental? Of course we are, right? Judging is not a bad thing, but if so, what situations or relationships tend to bring out that tendency in you? What triggers you? Do you have yourself excuses for behaving in a negative way? Well, this week I really was working so much, or I have a headache today, or, all these little excuses we use. Can you recall instances in which you were confronted with a more profound level of truth than you were used to hearing and found the experience intimidating? That's when your soul speaks to you. What beliefs and attitudes would you like to change in yourself? Are you willing to make a commitment to making those changes? Are you comfortable thinking about your life in impersonal terms? That means at that point you're not controlling anymore. You let it speak to you. You're not speaking life. It speaks through you. That means a lot of trust is necessary here. It's a spaciousness. It's a void. It's a huge emptiness out of which you hear the path of your soul. It really takes a lot of commitment and a lot of trust to live from that place. Are you frightened of the changes that might occur in your life should you openly embrace a conscious lifestyle. It only gets better. I can really verify for that. Take that leap. Be courageous. Don't give in to the fear right now. Right now we're going through the eclipse season, right? It's the month of August, and this is really a heightened time for sort of feeding the deep fears inside you. Don't do that right now. Choose the path of your soul. Again, these questions are not easy to answer, but I know you will do it. As always, I appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Share and like it with your friends and family and loved ones and anybody who is interested in living optimal health. If you want to know more about my work, I encourage you to have a look at my website medicanova.net, especially at the online academy where you find great comprehensive home study online courses. You can find first aid homeopathy for the whole family, and you can find another course about first aid homeopathy during pregnancy, labor, and postnatal care. And a completely different but great course called Being and Living Quantum Healing, Transforming Your Mind, Body and Soul in the New World. And if you're interested in a personal health consultation, either for yourself or your children, contact me at my email health@medicanova.net. So till next time, much love, take care, and take the path of connecting with your soul.